Great morning, great morning, great morning. It is Brent Harding, and you are watching the Wealth Warrior broadcast. It is my pleasure to bring it to you today. This is Saturday, August 26, 2017. I have to tell you, the summer is over. Sorry, the summer is over. So what's your next move? That's what we're going to be talking about today. The summer is over. So what's your next move? I'm going to say it one more time, for 3 times for emphasis. The summer is over. What's your next move? That's what we're going to be talking about this morning. Great morning, great morning, great morning. I want to give a shout out to Erica Neville, who has already joined the broadcast. Oh my goodness. Thank you. She says, I am viewing you now. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you. Very definitely a good morning to you, my darling. Well, we have got a lot to cover this morning. Let me give you the lineup. We're going to be doing the shout outs and the mentions. We're going to go from there to issue bragging rights. Somebody is taking bragging rights this morning. They are carrying the trophy. We're going to be sharing with you who's today's sponsor for the show. And then we're going to get into the segments. We have 4 segments that we're going to be covering this morning. We're also going to be telling you about what's happening with E3 Power Up. We are going to do a wrap up. We're going to share with you next week's show. And guess what? The deal is done. That's it. That's what's going on. So I have got to open up this show by giving you the very first thing, and that is, what does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? If you have been watching this show for the last month, then you know that this means share the broadcast with somebody that you know, because the content in today's broadcast is going to be so worthwhile. It's going to be so worthwhile. We're talking about what's your next move. We've only got the end of the quarter to make things happen. So you know what that means. Hey, Pamela Stone, great morning, great morning, great morning to you. Oh my goodness, Chico Floyd, hello. I'm glad to have you with us. Thank you so much. So again, I want you to go up to our Wealth Warrior Group broadcast on Facebook. If you are not a member right now, then all you have to do is hit the join button. We want to grow our community. By the end of this year, I am looking to have a massive growth in our community to raise the number to 500. So we need another 200 plus people to come on board. And the only way that our community is going to grow is if you share by hitting the share button, so that people can see the broadcast and see the value that you see. Join by going up to our page and also participating. Tell us what you like. Hashtag us. Tell us what you like about what you're hearing, about the content of the broadcast. We're going to do our best to address the issues that make sense for you so that you can grow your wealth. So with that being said, I want to give a shout out to our Wealth Warrior Platinum Ambassador, Ms. Robin Tennille, none other than good morning, good morning. And by the way, let me put the appropriate title on Pamela Stone. Pamela Stone is our Wealth Warrior Media Ambassador. Both Pamela and Robin will be in Boston in a little over a month. They will be here on September 30th, actually arriving on the 29th to participate in our platinum event, the Gold Ship event. And that is E3 Power Up 2017. Happening on September 30th. And guess what? There are general admission tickets available. You can go up to www.e3powerup2017.com and get details and get your tickets, because this is an awesome event. We have a limited number of tickets, so you want to get yours when? Now. With that being said, let me give some shout outs this morning. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Amanda Bruin. Amanda Bruin was at another event and spoke about E3 Power Up. And guess what? As a result of her validating the event, Jill Bromberg is going to be there as a VIP along with Amanda Bruin. So Amanda, hashtag Amanda Bruin has it. Yes, thank you very much for making our event known. Want to give shout outs to our speakers, both Kit Pang, who has an event, by the way, coming up on September 1st. I will be there. And also Dr. Letitia Wright. They are among our speakers at E3 Power Up. So we've got to give shout outs to them. Want to say to all the VIPs that got your tickets, and you know who you are, the VIPs for E3 Power Up, I want to give a shout out and say thank you for your support of our event, and we will see you on Saturday, September 30th. Also, I meant to say this right off, so let me break from the shout outs and say our hearts, our thoughts, our prayers are going with all of those in Texas that are experiencing the hurricane. And I do apologize because that should have been the very first thing that I would have shared with you. Please accept our heartfelt prayers and our hopes that you are safe and that your families are safe, because lives are all that matters. All of the material items can be replaced, but your lives cannot. So truly know, from our family at the Wealth Warrior broadcast to yours, we are hoping for a close of this hurricane and that you get back to your lives as you normally would have them. With that being said, let me continue on by giving shout outs and acknowledgments to everyone that is watching the broadcast today. I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors who I'm very excited about, and that is CB Unlimited Tax Consulting. Cecilia Bardelis is the CEO, an incredible woman. I appreciate her tremendously. If you are looking for tax services, please go up to her site, take a look at her Facebook page, CB Unlimited Tax Consulting. Also, I want to give a shout out to our collaborator, and that is That is Veronica Robles Cultural Center, an amazing center of the arts, and especially focused on our youth, helping our youth to understand that you can make a career and have a viable revenue-driving career through the arts, and she does that every day. Again, go up to her Facebook site, and that is VROCC, Veronica Robles Cultural Center. And I want to just give a shout out to a dear friend and colleague, and that is Nancy Lewis Hill. She is my coach, Nancy, and I want to say, hey, Nancy. With that being said, let me also acknowledge Lisa Love is on the broadcast. She's watching on my Facebook page. And Erica, thank you for acknowledging and giving congrats to Amanda. With that being said, who gets the early trophy, the early riser trophy? I want you to know it was snatched from the hands of Al Peters this week. Bragging rights and the early riser trophy goes to none other than Erica Neville. That's right, Erica Neville is with Prime America, and I loved something that she said on her Facebook page. She said, holding her niece in her arms, she said how time goes by. She remembers that day, and now that niece is grown up. And I'll tell you what, her statement is going to be something that drives us into the entree, and that is how time goes by. So Erica, I want to say thank you. I saw it. We want to give honorable mention. Yes, we're giving honorable mention to none other than Chantel Bethea. Thank you so much, Chantel. I want to say I appreciate the fact that she is also uplifting the September 30th event. She has posted that on her Facebook page, and we appreciate that. She has an event that's coming up in September, on September 22nd, a week before our event, and it's preparing your journey, and it's going to be held in Worcester. By all means, I want you to acknowledge our family. These are our family members, our Wealth Warrior Group family members who are contributing to all of us by sharing information. Do you know that content is king? And they're sharing that information with us. I am encouraging all of us to support each other's events and to support each other's businesses as well. So with that being said, let me give a couple more hellos. And I love that. Thank you, Erica. She is live today. Woohoo! And I want to say, Roosevelt St. Louis, thank you for joining the broadcast. One more time. Thank you. And by all means, go up to our Wealth Warrior Group page and drop some nuggets in there as well. With that being said, here's the deal. So the summer is over. What's your next move? And I like, again, what something that Erica said when she talked about the fact that time goes by quickly, and it does go by. So here's the deal. I'm going to share, there are 2 moves that you should be about the business of making for September. And that is real estate portfolio. So we're going to talk about that in this first segment. You should be prepared to make a killing in 2018. Why? I'll say this, real estate portfolio, real estate making a killing. If any one of those answers is what's your next move, so what's your next move, then guess what? You are on track for wealth. If it was anything other than that, I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, readjust your conversation, because that is your next move. Your next move is getting prepared. Getting prepared for purchasing real estate, to increase your real estate portfolio. That's one. And if you haven't started a portfolio, then grab that language and get ready for it, because that is what we are talking about. We're talking about the fact that real estate is the prime level. It is the baseline. It is where wealth starts. Now, you can have credit cards, you can have art, you can have coins, you can have jewelry. All of those can be wonderful things. However, I want you to understand something about real estate. Real estate never dies. They are not ever making any more earth. Did you hear me? No more earth, unless you're going to the moon. And so far as I know, they ain't put hotels, they ain't put buildings on the moon yet. So what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is we need to get the baseline complete. Our vehicle is not, I don't care if it's an SUV, an RUV, a VV, whatever the case may be. Earth, something attached to it that somebody is willing to purchase that appreciates in value, is where your next move needs to be. There is still opportunity for you to purchase this year and to take advantage of the tax benefits. However, I'm going to share with you this. We keep talking about it, and you know what? I'm going to keep talking about it until we get this. Until I see reports in the feed that say, Brent, I've hit the baseline. You don't even need to tell me that you purchased real estate. All you need to say is, I've hit the baseline. When you say I've hit the baseline, that is our code that you have purchased some real estate. That is our code that you're in the game, however that game is structured. Hey, great morning, Nancy Lewis Hill. We just talked about you. So that is the crux of the matter, is the baseline, and the baseline is real estate. So here's the deal. What do you need to do to get prepared to make a killing during the during the storm stage of the bell curve? Well, I'll tell you what. First and foremost, what is your revenue generating plan? What is the money? How are you bringing in the money to purchase that real estate? Are you leveraging existing property? Are you opening up a business and deriving revenue from that business? Are you selling things that you are not using? What do we always say? What is one man's junk is another man's treasure. Do you have Let Go sitting up on your phone? I had to think about that a moment. Do you have Let Go sitting up on your phone? Are you taking pictures of stuff that you no longer use or need? I'm going to tell you something. If you haven't touched it in 36 months, it's a goner. If you, and I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about shedding weight and those clothes are more than 5 years old, ladies and gentlemen, then you're either doing one or two things. You are either connecting with our sponsor for today's broadcast, which is TLC, Total Life Changes, and you are drinking what I'm drinking, which is Iaso tea in my water. I put some Iaso tea in here, and I'm drinking this. And it is causing me to do a reshaping. By the way, we are going to have Iaso tea samples at the event on the 30th, on September 30th at E3 Power Up. We are going to have samples of the ISO tea so that you can see how it causes your body to shape. I say that in relation, see, I'm relating it back to getting the money. Unless that clothing, you plan for that to fit you in the next 12 months, and it's been more than 5 years, it is time to let it go. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because your treasure is in that piece of real estate that's going to generate you revenue. Your treasure isn't accumulating the dollars and cents. I'm telling you, I'm going to the basement. And if it ain't coming with me to my new house, then it's a goner. It is getting picture taken and it's getting put on something to let it go because somebody else wants it. And you and I are on a mission. And that mission is serious. And it is about getting to baseline. Are we clear on that? Hashtag baseline. Somebody put a hashtag in there, baseline. Oh my goodness. Mr. Motivator Satchel, thank you for joining me on my broadcast. It is an honor because Mr. Motivator Satchel, I'm telling you, I have actually gotten some clues from you. So I am honored. Thank you for being with me on the broadcast this morning. So we are talking about the real estate. We're talking about a baseline, and a baseline is real estate. And you need to be prepared to make the killing. See, preparation, what do we talk about? Preparation prevents progress. Whatever word you use, we've had a variety of words in there. If you are not prepared, if you haven't got a plan, what do we always say? If you don't have a plan, then you plan to do what? Any road will get you there. It's just how long do you want to be on the road? That's the point. So with that being said, we're going to take a station break. We've got announcements. That's right. If you are in the city of Boston on September 1st, then you want to join me and all of the Wealth Warrior crew and tribe as we go down and meet up with Kit Peng at Boston Speaks Series. He'll be hosting that on Friday, the first Friday of September. It will be held at the Hatch 400 Park Drive. It's a Park Drive or Park Street in Boston. You can go up to Eventbrite and you can get your ticket for this event. There is no charge. It is complimentary. It is sponsored and supported by his vendors, and they want to see you in the place. If you are an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, if you are a business owner and you want to connect with like-minded people, then guess what? You want to join me and the tribe. We will be in the front on the left-hand side. We are going to assume the position and take those front row seats because those, ladies and gentlemen, are the $1 million seats. Those are the VIP seats. Whoever in the tribe gets there first, grab the seats. That's going to be on Friday, September 1st. We all are aware, you're going to keep hearing me say it right up until the morning of on September 30th. You want to be in Boston. Where do you want to be? You want to be in Boston at E3 Power Up 2017. General admission tickets may be purchased on our site at www.e3powerup2017.com. Details, sponsors, all are on that site. You can read profiles of the speakers that are going to be at the event. The event program is up on the site. The VIP set is up on the site. Everything is on e3powerup2017.com. Throughout the month of September, you will be hearing from our speakers for the event. So on Saturdays, we're going to have an excerpt from our speakers for this event. This is the flagship event for Brent S. Harding, the brand. And it is all about growing exponentially. In many ways, growing exponentially. So with that being said, I want to say, you know what to do. How are you preparing for 2018? How are you preparing for the real estate market in 2018? I'm going to submit to you, first stop is about pulling your credit. Before you even write your plan, pull your credit. because you want to understand what your creditors are saying about you. Does anything need to be corrected? Does anything need to be adjusted? Is there any information on there that isn't accurate? You want to get that credit report in tip-top shape so that you can access the funds, the monies through whatever institution you're doing business with. Now, there is one preamble. No, I won't even say preamble, but there is one other option to that. If you are purchasing in cash, then that credit report is not as pivotal to you. But I will say this, why use your cash when you can use somebody else's? When you can leverage and leverage and leverage. Now, there are times when there's a deal on the table that's a cash-related, cash-driven detail. Oh, heck yes. Then you might want to put the cash out there. However, if you can leverage yourself by using OPM, other people's money, that allows you, instead of buying one, to buy two, if it's going to make your money go further, then that's a different story. So first things first, before you even write up the plan, stop and think. You might need to go away for a few hours. You might need to do this week might be the getaway week to go woosah and just let your brain, let your subconscious work for you. How are we going to do this? Are we going to use our own cash? Are we going to use somebody else's cash? Are we going to leverage our current real estate? How are we going to do this? Are we going to work with a lender? How is this going to happen? And it's also about the time value of money. You and I know when we're going to somebody else, when we are going to a lender, then what that means is we know that's at least 30, 45 days, maybe 60 days to close that transaction. Do we have that kind of time? If we do not, then that may not be the road for that specific piece of property. It doesn't mean that we're not going to use them. We want a lender that's our best friend. We want a lender that we may be able to leverage with. So we're doing a couple of things. First, we are First, we're making a decision. Is it going to be a lender? Is it going to be leveraging our property? Is it going to be our own capital? So which one of these are we using? That's one. Then we need to sit down with ourselves and initiate the plan. And the first step on that plan is about the credit report. We will never have as much money as we will have access to credit. Credit is king. Credit supersedes cash in many instances, with the exception of purchasing real estate. Because sometimes when you've got cash in a real estate deal, you will either get the property that you want, or you will get the property at a percentage below because you're able to put the cash on the table. And the person that is selling it does not have time to wait. They want the cash now. So if that in fact is the case, then you've got some decisions to make. Hey there, Janice, how are you? Whoa, okay, let me see. Janice Perot de Brito. Did I say that correctly? I hope that I did. Thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate that. So we're in real estate. So you've got decisions to make. So again, I'm going to submit to you that credit is a place to start on that plan. When you're writing out the plan is going to be about accessing cash. The plan is going to be about having cash. So you want to demonstrate, you want to have the cash on hand because cash is king. So what percentage of money are you going to put down on that property if in fact you're going to be using a lender? Do you have enough cash to create a transaction? Now, you heard me say the word create a transaction. What do I mean by that? There are sellers that want to sell that property, and they may finance the deal for you if you've got enough cash down on the transaction. They may not need the whole $400,000. They may take $20,000 now, and they may take payments for a period of time, and then you close out the transaction with a lender. They might need that cash right now, and they are willing to structure the deal. Structure, very powerful word, structure the deal in order to have both of you create win-wins. Now, I want to share something with you. I'm going to be putting a little offer on the table that's relative to E3 Power Up. I'll be putting a little deal on the table, a couple of deals on the table for you towards the end of the broadcast. So you want to be here to hear that kind of news. So what have we talked about, or what are we saying right now? We're saying that what's your next move? You've got from September to December to either be doing a couple of different things to get to baseline. Baseline is about real estate in your wealth plan. Real estate is a pivotal part of your wealth plan. What are you going to do that's going to bring in the cash, that's going to bring in the revenue, that's either going to position you right now for purchasing by December, or is going to position you to take advantage of the bell curve of our real estate posture, the bell curve that we've been talking about, that we said started in 2016, because that was 10 years from 2006 to 2016, the 10-year period of time, form to form. So now it's storm to storm. So we are getting into the position of the storm stage. And what happens in the storm? That's what happens. And that means that cash is king. You know, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she said, listen, I want to get this deal done. I want to get this deal done before the storm. So mom at 81 is clear about storms. And we are about to hit a real estate storm. Hey, Jenny, I'm going to see if I can say that. Janaea Hawa? I hope I said that right. Janae Hawa, thank you for joining us. And if I haven't said your name correctly, please make sure you instant message me and say it phonetically, or write it phonetically for me so that I will say it correctly the next time round. So with that being said, what we've covered is we've covered our bell curve. We've covered real estate as being the baseline of wealth. And if we do not have that, then guess what? We're at a point where we need to rethink our posture, because we are in preparation mode for 2018. We are in preparation mode for 2018 through 2020. You've heard so many things about 2020. Do you recall we continue to hear about 2020 as a pivotal year? For example, there are people that are going to be going over to Dubai. Why in 2020? Because that's a celebration year. Powerful, is it not? It is a celebration year. For those of you who are on my broadcast on live on Brent Harding, we are having some issues around it, and I do not know what caused that. So what I'm going to share with you is this. I want you to turn around and rejoin me. I'm going back on live. We had some problems with it, so we're reconnecting or attempting to reconnect. But if you're not able to get a hold of me, would somebody put the sign up and share and encourage people to please go ahead up and come on board on our Wealth Warrior broadcast, because it is having some problems. It says it's not able to get us live, and that is so daggone unfortunate. I'm really not happy about that. So I'm going to try it one more time to see if I can get us connected. But the good news is we are connected on YouTube, are we not? Okay, with that being said, I want to take a moment for a station break. And when I take the station breaks, guess what? I am going to be talking about E3 Power Up. Why am I talking about E3 Power Up? I'm talking about E3 Power Up. Why? Because, and I'm going to just try one more time to see if I can bring folks up. And if I can, terrific. If I'm not, well, guess what? We are actually on YouTube. And that's one of the beauties about the Google Hangouts and YouTube, is it's still going forward. So that is a very good thing. So we're going to try one more time, and then we're going to keep it going. Now, as I was saying, again, with that being said, E3 Power Up. Here's my first announcement, my first goodie. And again, I got some others at the end. And that is this, that I'm going to be hosting, we're going to have some live coaching, and I'm going to get a chance during the break to talk to individuals that would like to discuss, that would like to take a few precious minutes to talk about their real estate plans, to talk about their real estate and what their plans are. So this is what I'm saying to you. If you are in fact at E3 Power Up 2017, that means you've got a ticket, you are a ticket holder. Then during the breaks, I am going to ask you to actually schedule time to have a private conversation with you about your baseline. Why am I doing that? Because I want you at the event. And if I've got to do this to get you there, then guess what? I'm going to do it. www.e3powerup2017.com is the official site for the event. You are able to get your tickets there. Tickets and details are actually there. So I am going to encourage you to go on up and get your tickets. And then you want to see our ambassador, Robin Tennille, our platinum ambassador, Robin Tennille, and say, hey, I want to schedule 5, however many minutes with Brent during the break. She controls the calendar, and you have an opportunity to be a part of that. So with that being said, that was just a little tidbit to attract your attention to say, come on over to our side. Now, with that being said, I want to talk to you about entrepreneurship. During the month of September and October, we are going to be talking about real estate and entrepreneurship. Why? The reason that we're talking about entrepreneurship is this. What we want to do is we want to move and motivate you to understand that we've got to do 2 things. We've got a baseline of our plan, and the baseline is real estate. The next layer of that base plan, the next level, the next step up is about entrepreneurship. In fact, actually, I'm going to tweet it. I'm going to go back and forth on this because you've got the base, which is actually your real estate. You've got the entrepreneurship, and you've got a connector, and that connector is your taxes. Now, why do I say that connector is your taxes? I say the connector is your taxes because in order to continue to have that wealth grow, you've got to control the taxes. You've got to control what goes out to Uncle Sam and to whatever state you live in. You've got to control that, because if you do not, your taxes are going to eat up your wealth. Your taxes are going to eat up your wealth. Are you hearing me? Your taxes are going to eat up your wealth. So we've got to layer ourselves. How do we layer ourselves? We layer ourselves with baseline real estate. We layer ourselves by owning businesses. You ever notice how there will be, you will talk, they not just have one business. They have, now, I'm not saying run out right now and open up multiple businesses. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying to you is that you have your real estate, you have a business, and that business generates revenue. And if we've got the business that I'm hoping that we have businesses that create residual income. Now, the business in and of itself may not create the residual income, although you and I know there are businesses that do that. What you might have is the revenue from that business to invest in activities that will create residual income for you. And in fact, if you are at the E3 Power Up event, now, this is a women's event. It is E3 Power Up 2017, the award-winning Women Entrepreneurs Conference. However, gentlemen, we are not excluding you. You are encouraged and welcome. We have a gentleman that is a speaker, Mr. Kip Bang, there, because we want you to know that we value you as well. However, the boys have the Old Boys Network. the women have not got those networks and so we want to do this. We want to create them, but you are our partners, so we are including you as well. And I say this because Dr. Wright is going to be bringing something very powerful to the table, and that is about your investments. And we're talking about it from the perspective, not of investment houses, but there are entities in which you can invest and get an ROI, legitimate, viable entities that you can get an ROI from that you don't even know about. However, we do know the wealthy know about that. Wealth begins with the mindset. It begins with the attitude. It begins with our belief systems. And it begins with investing. And our illustrious, esteemed, America's crowdfunding expert and contributing writer to the Huffington Post, Dr. Letitia Wright, is going to be sharing with us. Women, we need to invest more. It is our obligation to the next generation. And it's going to be happening on September 30th. So you may be there because you want to hear from Dr. Letitia Wright. You might want to be there for that. You may want to be there because you want to grow your company expeditiously. And if you want to grow it exponentially and you want to grow it with speed, I remember something, and many of you will hear me quote him: success loves speed. If you want to grow your business exponentially, then you want to be there. If you want to be a better public speaker, then you want to be there. If you want to have business star status, in other words, you want to be a business celebrity, you want to be there. If you are an entrepreneur and you do not have an MSPP, you want to be there. Have I given you plenty of reason to want to be there? I hope so. With that being said, let me roll back. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the next level. That's the step one above the baseline. Entrepreneurship is the next level above the baseline. And what does that mean? That means that, in fact, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to create additional wealth to your household, then you are going to want to have entrepreneurship as part of your portfolio. Because see, now we have portfolios. And so we've got real estate, part of the portfolio. We have entrepreneurship, revenue generation as part of your portfolio. So notice I have not negated your jobs. No, I haven't negated those. What I have said to you is that you need to have entrepreneurship because, see, your job isn't giving you a tax benefit. Your entrepreneurship is. So what kind of business are you going to be in? Now, notice you've heard me say entrepreneurship versus small business. By no means am I negating small business, but what I am saying is, as an entrepreneur, you can be in business in 4 minutes. Small business usually entails employees. The difference between entrepreneurs versus a small business is entrepreneurs can be a single individual, a single entity. Small businesses have employees. That is the primary distinction between the two. So we are talking about entrepreneurship. Why? Because you can control it. You can start it virtually immediately. You can be in business hanging a shingle right now. As soon as this broadcast is over, you can be in business. Your job is to demonstrate that you are actively in pursuit of revenue. You are actively in pursuit of a profit. That is the definition of entrepreneurship. You're actively in pursuit of revenue. If you are actively in pursuit of revenue, now there comes a point where you have to demonstrate. You've got to demonstrate to the federal government in order to have the tax benefit. You've got to demonstrate how you're in pursuit of revenue. And I'll tell you what, you can be at E3 Power Up 2017 on September 30th, and that is a demonstration that you are in pursuit of revenue. Why? Because it's education driven. Because we are going to have some activities in which you're going to connect with the people in the room and drive yourself to profit through doing business with each other. Because see, it's interactive. Folks that are coming there know what they're coming there for, and they are primed and ready to do business with each other, to learn from each other, to grow from each other, because this is about exponential growth, to garner wealth. And guess what? Wealth is a beautiful word, and there's no need to be ashamed or afraid of it. Your wealth and my wealth may differ. However, we are still in pursuit of creating some form of a lifestyle, yes. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to be talking for the next 2 months about two baselines. One is your real estate baseline, and the other is your entrepreneurial baseline. And together, they help you to reduce your taxes, because it is not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you what? Keep. It is about how much money you keep. I needed to take a whoosha moment on that one. Oh my goodness, yes. So I want to share with you that we have talked about a lot this morning. And I hope that you felt that we covered some terrain this morning. So let me give us a recap for those of us that are just joining the broadcast. I want to first and foremost say that we are live, and we're live on YouTube and on the Wealth Warrior Group channel. We're also on the Wealth Warrior Strategist channel as well. So, and those are both on Facebook. I'm going to try one more time to see if I can pick up for this part, for this segment, and this segment being being our recap segment, which I'm going to recap all that we talked about this morning. So I want to make sure, get the pen and paper. And why do we say get pen and paper? There is a reason for that. There is a reason that journals are still being sold, and journals can cost some serious money. Why? Because there is a neurotransmitter connection with our brain and our pen to paper. That third eye that people talk about is able to see information on the paper. Sometimes you'll see a person looking into space, and you're wondering, what exactly are they looking at? And they're reading. And they're trying to find the information on the page where they know they wrote it. That's why there are times when you can flip to that page and say, see, that's right here. Why? Because you wrote it. So that's why we talk about the neurotransmitter. Okay, with that being said, here's the deal. The summer, it's over. It's done. It's one and done. You got 1 week. It's done. It's done. Accept it. So what's your next move? That's what we're talking about. What is your next move? We gave some shout outs. Amanda Bruin gave a shout out to her because she is a serious supporter of our event. She was actually shared our event, E3 Power Up 2017, with someone, and that was Jill Bromberg. And Jill Bromberg is going to be with us. And so I want to give a shout out and a thanks, one, to Amanda for getting the word out. She is a woman of her word. And Jill for being the person that followed up. Want to give a shout out to our speakers, Kit Pang, Dr. Letitia Wright. Want to shout out to all of our VIPs who have already purchased their ticket. We will see you there. Want to give a thank you to one of our sponsors, that is CB Unlimited. Want to give a thank you to our collaborator, Veronica Robles from Veronica Robles Cultural Community Center. Want to give a shout out and a thank you to Linda Davis, our official travel agent with Cruise, Fly, and Travel. I'm going to get this right, Linda. Please do not kill me. Go up to Linda Davis's page, Cruise, Fly, and Go Travel. Are you proud of me, Linda? I said it right. Also, my friend, colleague, I want to say hello to New Hampshire, to Nancy Lewis Hill, who is my coach, Nancy. You're going to hear about her in the upcoming months. The early riser trophy, I tried to say them all together. The early riser trophy and bragging rights was snatched out of the hands of Al Peters and put into the hands of Erica Neville with Prime America. And I love her statement, time goes by far too fast. Honorable mention goes to Chantel Bethea. And our show was sponsored today by TLC, Total Life Changes. That is the IASO tea, the weight loss tea, and it's in my drink. And I'm drinking it this morning. My arms are shaping up. I'm getting muscles. I'm loving it. Today, we talked about the baseline, the absolute baseline of wealth, and that is real estate. So what's your next move? Your next move is getting prepared for 2018. Your next move is purchasing real estate. If you are in position to purchase this year, by the end of the year, to take advantage of the tax benefit, then go ahead and do so. If you are saying, no, Brent, the storm is coming because I've been studying the bell curve and I know what's going on, then guess what? You're talking my kind of language. We want to get prepared for the storm to take advantage of the opportunities that will be happening with the storm. We're saying it is an opportunity to make a killing in real estate. Do you have the cash? If you do not have the cash, what are you doing? So we talked about preparing for 2018. We said you got to get your credit right. We said that you've got to have a preparation plan. You've got to be in position to reduce your taxes. And I made an offer. I said that during the breaks at E3 Power Up 2017, I will take time to talk with you about your preparation plan for the real estate killing. And I will even set up a time after that event to do a consultation with you, a laser consultation with you about your real estate plan. Why am I going to do that? Because you are going to be at the event, E3 Power Up 2017. You can get your tickets online at our site, e3powerup2017.com. That is going to be a trade-off that I'm giving you. I'm saying you come, I give. You come, I give. It's giving bloods. It's a trade-off. All righty. With that being said, we talked about join our community and hashtag, right? Stay in communication on our site. We want to grow the tribe. Our goal is to get to 500 by the end of the year. Will you help us? Join us, share our page, share the information. We said that in order to create that growth, success loves speed. So we want to be expedient about getting to our destination. Any road will get you there. How long do you want to be on the road, or do you want to be there? You are positioning yourself to give your children a legacy. And the only way that that happens is if you get started now. In the coming weeks, in the coming months, we're going to be talking about real estate and acquisitions. We're going to talk about your portfolio. Entrepreneurship. What are the underpinnings? Every wealthy person, I'm going to keep saying it until you do it, until I see hashtag I did it, until I see hashtag baseline 1, until I see hashtag baseline 2. We will know that that's code for I got it. I did it. That's what we're talking about. Entrepreneurship is a baseline. Collectively, the real estate and the entrepreneurship help you to minimize your taxes. We did not say that you do not pay. We say that we minimize. There is a difference. One is legal, the other will get you in jail. What else can I say? So we want to master the entrepreneurship move. That's what we talked about this morning. Announcement, September 1st, the Wealth Warrior Tribe will descend on Boston Speak Series, September 1st at the Hatch, 400 Park Drive in Boston, over in the Fenway section. We will be front row. Whoever gets there first, line up the seats, put the stuff on the seats, because we're reserving ourselves for the Wealth Warrior Tribe. We are going to be an event inside of Kit Pang's event, because that's what we do. So that's happening on September 1st. On September 22nd, we know that Chantal Bethea has an event called Preparing Your Journey. That's going to be held in Worcester, Massachusetts. And the likelihood is I am going to be stopping by, because you know why? I support the events that support the family, not just my event, but support your events. See, that's how we keep the dollars in our communities. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. With that being said, announcement number 2. I had one announcement at E3 Power for the E3 Power Up 2017 event, in which you can get your tickets at e3powerup2017.com. That was I will do during the breaks. You can reach out to Robin. Robin will schedule you for a quick conversation about your real estate plan. Now I'm offering that. Why? Because you got a ticket to this event. You supported me. I'm supporting you. And it's a give and take there. The other one is that when you're at the event, and you probably heard it and you said you didn't distinguish it, I will also schedule a laser real estate session with you. I will do that over the phone with you, and we will be scheduling those directly after the event to get you prepared for the 2018, what I like to call the real estate rush. How about that? Ooh, yes, yes, and double yes. So for September and October, what are we talking about? We're talking about real estate, and we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about baseline 1 and baseline 2. September and October. It is our preparation to execute. Why? October, November, December, that's the fourth quarter. Whatever we're doing, this is the end of the third quarter coming into September. The fourth quarter, whatever we're going to do to pull down our taxes, whatever we're going to do to increase our portfolio has got to be done now. When? Now. And the nuggets begin September 1st. They ramp up on September 30th in preparation for the fourth quarter. Where? You know where, at E3 Power Up 2017, and you can get details on our site, e3powerup2017.com. You can get tickets, information, details. Be there or be square. With that being said, next week's show, we are going to start interviewing the speakers for E3 Power Up 2017. We're going to be interviewing them and getting their take on what they're bringing to you as our audience. So you want to be here next Saturday, same time, same channel, and we're going to see who gets bragging rights, who carries home the early riser trophy. And you know what? I'm going to have some early riser trophies at E3 Power Up 2017. I want to hand some things out personally because we actually have an award ceremony happening that day. Yeah, we have an award ceremony happening. There are going to be some people that are going to get some awards. We want to acknowledge and recognize those that have made leaps and bounds in their entrepreneurial career, in their wealth career. With that being said, it has been my pleasure to be with you this morning. Again, I am Brent Harding. You can reach and take a look at my website at www.brentharding.com. There is a tab there that gives you more detail about E3 Power Up. And actually, you'll see pictures from E3 Power Up 2016. We have a photo library there as well. We want to see you next week. And we want to see you every Saturday morning thereafter. And we want to see you live on Saturday, September 30th. With that being said, go out today and be absolutely extraordinary.